is going to seem almost relaxing compared to what you had to do when you were doing the hands-on part where you were drawing the models. Here, all you have to do is identify the fraction. So you always want to start with a denominator of how many pieces something's broken into. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4. So the denominator is 4. Now it says write the fraction for the part that is shaded. How many parts are shaded? Yeah, 1. All right, so once we've done that, we've identified the fraction, now we just have to find an equivalent fraction. The easiest way to do this is the math way, where you're multiplying by this, the same numerator and denominator. I always choose two halves, 2 tooths, I jokingly say to you, but it's 2 halves, because it's super easy to multiply by 2. 1 times 2 is 2. 4 times 2 is 8. So guess what? 2/8 is an equivalent fraction to 1/4. Let's look at another example. I said start with the denominator. Let's count them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 is the denominator. How many are shaded? 1/6, 2/6. 2 of the 6 are shaded. Now we need to find an equivalent fraction. We know that we can multiply by 1 without changing the identity. Well, 2 halves is the fraction form of 1. 3/3, 4/4. I could choose any of those. Don't try to be clever with this. Pick the easiest math that you can. So once again, I'm going to multiply the numerator by 2 and the denominator by 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 6 times 2 is 12. Guess what? 4/12 is equivalent. I am going to show my work. So what I'm going to have you do on this paper are a couple of problems like that, and then, let me do the next page, some like this. You have to find an equivalent for each fraction. What's the easiest way to find an equivalent? Multiply by the easiest form of 1 that you know. What's 20 times 2? Let's see, 2 times 2 is 4, take off a 0, add a 0. 2 times 1 is 2. We took off 2 zeros, so we'll add 2 zeros. There we go. That's an equivalent fraction. Now, this is where it gets a little bit more challenging. You have to figure out what they did here. So I usually pick the smaller number. And I say, what did they multiply 2 by to get 6? 6. So what are you going to multiply? What times 6 equals 6? What times 6 equals 6? That's going to be 1. See, this way, I always pick the smaller one. I look at 10. What did they do to 10 to get 100? How many 10s is that? 10. Do it to the bottom, do it to the top. So it's going to be 30. I'm going to give you a variety of these problems and let you practice finding equivalent fractions. Don't forget to put your name on your paper.